For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm giving a bit of a review video on an accessory you can add onto your Telta awning. So over here today I've got the Telta Extra Tall Annexe. So the Extra Annexe actually comes in kind of two different fabrics to basically match your Telta awning itself. So it comes in kind of their Soltex fabric, so their residential kind of awning, so this is called the residential, or they've got their normal Teltex fabric and a breathable polycotton to match the rest of their awnings. Now, the joys of actually Telta's awnings in general, whether it be a porch awning or a full awning or a driveway awning, the zip lengths are pretty much the same on the side. So as long as the side panels are removable, you can add accessories on like the tall annex or alternatively a mesh panel. So it's a great way of actually adding extra space. Typically with most kind of porches or full awnings no matter, you'll have one can take on either side. So you can make or actually have it for storage or sleeping purposes. And we'll kind of go through the in-depths of a little bit more a bit more detailing of why or how you can use it, or the different configurations of the awning itself. So, as previously mentioned, it's basically two versions of the Extra Tall Annexe. With me today, I've got the residential version. So this is residential tall annex. Now, this differs a little bit to the normal version, in the only sets that there is no windows on the sides. So apart from that, everything I'm going to go through today is exactly the same. There's a window panel here on the other version, and it comes with an windows, so curtains as well for the windows. So the actual part of it itself is it's 187 centimeters tall at its tallest point. It's 210 by 215, so good amount of space, great for storage. It comes included with an inner tent, and we'll have a look at that later on as we go inside of it. It basically zips onto the existing zip on the actual awning itself, so you just remove your side panel, put this on in place, and then peg it out. It's inflatable, so it's got an inflatable inflation point on this side here. So one point just pumps up the whole rib. Then you've got additional bracer poles which come included, which is a really nice update. And it will do one in the top section and two in the sides just to give it a bit more balance and braces. You do have additional straps located on this side, so you can buy the same storm straps that go onto the awning, can go on here just to give it a real nice extra bit of torsion. Often points down here again, webbing straps as well. Ladders throughout of all of it. So there's also a rear door on this point here, so if you want to use it as storage or a little entrance way, you can obviously open it up quite nice and neatly. In fact, the rear door then marries up. You can roll that back, so you can probably see the inner tent from there. So there's again a similar inner tent on the door that can zip back like you can see it. You've also got a secondary zip as well, so if you wanted a bit of airflow inside of the awning, which I've repeg that just to make it look a bit nicer. There's a secondary zip there as well, so you can sort of drop that down if you want to, not you really need to. Now, we've got on the back side of here again a mesh panel. So this mesh panel also is to increase ventilation. Depending on with the residential version, what you've got in terms of fabric is a bit different. So we've got a Soltex that's polypropylene roof, a really nice strong roof designed for, as the name suggests, residential kind of stays. So that's really good. And then it's got acrylic sides. Whereas you move to the other version, which is the normal version we call it, in the Teltex fabric, it's completely polycotton. So you've got natural breathability the whole way through. With this, you've got breathable sides, and also a really nice weather-tight roof to take the harsher UV. So with ventilation is going to be key if someone's sleeping in there, just because of the amount of moisture you're naturally going to exhale. The inner tent obviously allows it to pass through, so it doesn't drip down on you so much, but it's still a key point. So if you've got someone staying there, I'd recommend unzipping the vent. So it actually has like a little baffle. So what you can do is you can splay it out like that. Ventilation can go underneath, so that you have that airflow directly in it. Alternatively, what you can do is there's another zip located there. So then when you can actually roll this section up, you know. I'd always recommend going under rather than over. The reason being is then you don't have water's not going to collect in the door section. So then that toggle point, I'll use one for the time being, but then you've got a big mesh panel there as well, so it helps with airflow. Other points to remember, like I said, you've got your ladders located all around the side. So what you find is actually, depending on the height, you can actually give adjustable heights and just give it a certain different amount of tension depending on your kind of whole point sloping away. it sits really nicely. So water's designed to obviously bead off there, because you've got a little bit of a peak to the actual top there. Water then naturally just shreds off the product itself. But what we'll do, actually, let's bring the camera inside and have a little look on the inside of what it looks like. So now we're inside the awning, you can probably appreciate for the actual annex part itself. So what we're looking at here is there is a privacy curtain that comes with it as standard. So with this privacy curtain, so if you weren't going to use it in a bedroom and you wanted just to kind of not see the contents inside, this is where you're going to utilize this. There's a central zip that's located, as you can see, directly here. And what you can then do is it can then toggle back like so. So it just gives you a bit of a curtain in between it. So this is just merely toggled. There's again little ties back there to hold it back. But you can just unclip these if need be. Remove it completely. And then I've left the inner bedroom in place. Like I said, the inner bedroom is exactly the same, regardless of the version of it. But really nice big size, very, big in terms of height. And because you've got the height of it as well, I'm about 6'2". Okay, I can't quite stand up in the centre, just because I say it's about 187. But most people probably stand up in here quite nice and easily. Because you've got the sort of 210 by 215 width, they're the external sizes. The internal size is a little bit the same sort of size. So again, you can probably, because it's actually a very vertical side, you probably could fit a camp bed just about in there. You've got to be a bit careful with as it kind of slopes back a little bit. But you can see there is plenty of room. Probably should 3 people in here, really. It's that sort of width. But certainly definitely a comfy 2. And you can see at the back, because we open up mesh vent at the back here, you can see the mesh that kind of mirrors that. And as we sort of also mentioned, we've got a separate door in this back section to then access the outside. Of course, if we don't want to use it for sleeping purposes, we'll all think it's storage. We can utilise the privacy curtain, unclip the bedrooms. I've pegged it in the bottom. But then that obviously you can remove that completely. I'm going to lay it down for flat, but then it kind of opens it up, and that's where actually you can see you've got these poles located in the roof section as well. So again, just to give it a bit more bounce and brace, it helps to get that torsion in the roof to allow the water to drain away properly. And we can obviously re-put our privacy curtain in the front. So yeah, hopefully it gives you a better idea of kind of the overall size of it as well as the overall shape. And for more information on either the 2 models that they do in this model, you can check the link below this video, take you through to our website. We've got more information on both of those as well as the latest pricing. We've done separate videos about how you kind of pitch it. It's worth mentioning it doesn't come with a manual pump standard. Really, it's designed that if you've got an awning, you could have a pump for that. So that's one thing to bear in mind, that you will have to buy you can utilise your pump for that, but I think that goes without saying in a way, but it's a worthwhile point to know. But no, I think the complementariness of it and the usability of, it's also, for your own reference, if you're looking for something a bit more price pointed and just pure for sleeping, there is an optional sleeping annex that Telta do, which kind of goes down, and we've done a separate video on that as well. You can check that out, which again is definitely from a price point of view is a bit more affordable. But as this, because it's trying to be a mixture between an extension and also an annex, so it's going to be that one-stop thing. You haven't got to buy. It's trying to give you the most amount of space for a small, compact size. And I think it certainly does that with all the features and everything you want from it. I think it ticks a big box for me. So, but I said, let us know what you think as well. By all means, comment in the box below. Hopefully, it's been helpful, and we look forward to seeing you again next time in our Attwoolls Outdoors video reviews.